In 2006, Leica and Panasonic collaborated to make a 10 megapixel CCD digital camera with a Leica lens. Let's go! Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. This is photo class number 426. Comment below if you have ever used the Lumix brand cameras, or especially the LX2 that we're going to talk about today, and tell me your feelings about the collaboration which goes back to 2001 of Panasonic and Leica joining forces. Leica wanted to put their lenses on more cameras, and Panasonic was more than happy to agree. Until today, they are still in business together. Panasonic makes beautiful Lumix lenses for the L-mount Leica system, and Leica makes lenses for these gorgeous pocket point and shoot cameras that we're going to look at. Panasonic came out with this Lumix camera. It was $480. Let me turn it on for you. All right. Great screen on the back. Of course, it has live view. There is no electronic viewfinder, so you just use it like you would your cell phone. You hold it up and you take photographs with it. It's pretty light, 187 grams. It's 4 inches by 2 inches. Very easy to put it in your pocket. All right, let's get back to the lens. It's the Leica DC Vario Elmarit lens. Multi-coated, and it's stabilized. Remember, Panasonic and Leica collaborated not only to have Leica lenses on the Panasonic cameras, but they came up with the first digital cameras with image stabilization. All right. The lens focal length range on this camera is 28 millimeters to 112 millimeters in 35 millimeter equivalent. The ISO range on the camera is 100 to 1600. You could go into high sensitivity mode and bring it up to 3200. It has a full mode dial on top right here. I'll show you a close-up photograph of it. PASM, which means program mode, aperture priority mode, shutter priority mode, and manual mode. It does take videos. It has a built-in microphone. I don't use these cameras for videos. It has one SD card slot. Let me just turn it. It's on the bottom right here. You slip the SD card in right next to the battery, and it has a pop-up flash right here. It's great for little fill light on portraits. What I would do if I was going to use this for portraits is I would just put a little piece of tissue paper over the flash just to soften it a little bit. Now, the lens has a few switches on it. The first switch, I'll put up a close-up photograph of it. The first switch I want to tell you about is right here on the top. It's for aspect ratio, okay? It gives you a 4.4 to 3 ratio, a 3 to 2 ratio, and a 16:9 ratio. These are just cropping tools that you can use right on the lens. The other switch that it has is on the side of the lens, which gives you autofocus, macro, or manual focus. Let's look at some photos taken with that switch. So that was autofocus. This is a photograph taken in macro focus mode. All right. This was taken in manual focus. Here's another macro photo. These are all macros. This one's one of my favorites, where you can see this area is sharp and you have beautiful blurred background. All right, let's keep going. I found that if you're going to use the macro setting to take close-ups, put the telephoto zoom, put it in the widest, believe it or not, the widest setting, not telephoto at 112 millimeters. Put it at 28 millimeters. You can get closer, and the photos, the macro photos, come out better. Um, it has a few color effects settings, such as cool, warm, black and white, and sepia. I did try the black and white setting right here, and I'm really very, very happy with the black and white setting built into the camera. You can also turn those effects off. With macro, I was able to get 3 inches away from the lens to the subject. Now, besides shooting RAW and JPEG, which is very good, I do have one complaint after using this camera for about 5 years. And the complaint is this. On the back, it has this little lip here for your thumb, right? That's great. But remember, the camera is painted metal. It's pretty slippery. This little bump here that they added, this little grip right here, really is just too small. It should have been the whole length of the camera, and it should have been much more prominent. Okay, so you're holding the camera, right? You try and put one finger here, your thumb here. Then you have to put the rest of the weight of the camera on your palm like this, okay? And that's pretty uncomfortable, but this is the only way you can take a photograph without dropping the camera, all right? So make sure you put the wrist strap on. So I've had to put 2 hands on the camera to take pictures. Yeah, that's probably the best way anyway. But you know what? Sometimes you just want to take a photo with one hand. And that's my only complaint, is that it's slippery, okay? And the grip just isn't enough. Okay, in closing, I want to just tell you something. Remember, I said that Leica and Panasonic obviously collaborate together. But look at this. This is the Leica Deluxe 3 right here that sells used for $300. And this is the Lumix LX2 that sells used for $100. Now, there are many articles online that say these are the same exact cameras. Well, by looking at them, sure, you can absolutely tell they're extremely similar. But Leica, when Leica was questioned and was asked, is this the same camera? Is the Deluxe 3 from Leica the same camera as the LX2 from Panasonic? Then they said, well, our software for photo processing internally is different. It's to our specifications as to Leica color, contrast, hue, saturation, vibrance, etc. So you be the judge. If you want to buy the Lumix LX2 used for $100, or the very similar Leica Deluxe 3 for $300, keeping in mind it has the same exact lens. This has been Carmine from New York, photo class number 426, Let's enjoy all the photos.